Good morning, everyone. It is August 25th here at SFH Ranch, and we have a lot of work to do this morning. You're probably wondering why I'm carrying around this wagon. Well, today we have to do some work without any type of equipment. No tractor, no side-by-side. It is all gonna be just manual labor. Yeah, so I picked this cart up at Tractor Supply on the way out here. I can usually cross the creek with my side-by-side, with my tractor, carry sacks of corn, feeders, all kinds of stuff. But today we are going to be using just ourselves. So what I did is I bought this cart. My plan is to load the cart up with one of my feeders that I just recently repaired from the flood, haul it across the creek, and carry it up with the wagon. So that's my plan anyways. I guess we're gonna have to wait and see if my plan works. It's just me out here today, so I'm having to do this the hard way, but I think I can get it done. Another idea is to use the old trusty dirt bike once I get across to pull this wagon. Yeah, if everything goes well, we'll get some corn and a feeder up across the creek, because right now we have nothing but a mineral site, and it's getting really close to deer season. So watch along as I try to get this thing across the creek. We'll see how it goes. Now let's hope she cranks. Oh yeah. All right, next we got to grab this wagon and take it on over to my feeder, load it up, strap it down, and then try to get it across the creek. So this is going to be the sketchy part. The creek is about 65 foot across. The banks are probably about 15 to 20 foot deep. So we'll see how it goes. Get next to the, there we go. There we go. All right, that worked. Something else I wanted to mention, I just picked up one of these Reveal Pro 3.0s. I hear a lot of good things about this camera, but I never picked one up because I am out in East Texas where there is no signal. Well, I was at the Hunters Extravaganza show, and the rep was just trying to sell me on this deal, and I kept trying to tell him that I have no signal out here, and he promised me that if I bought one, I would get signal. So we're gonna test that out here this weekend, and if he's wrong, I'm sending it back. I'm hoping he's right, because man, I would love to see pictures of deer when I'm at home or at work or whatever, but since I've been out here for 3 years, that hadn't been the case. All right, so we're gonna have to take a bag, load it with some water, some mosquito spray. I'm gonna put a thermocell as well in there, because it's been really wet out here this summer and the mosquitoes are just crazy. If you don't own one of these in Texas, you're missing out. This is a lifesaver. When we start bow hunting here in Texas, it's still about 90 degrees. First week of October, we're looking at 90, 91, lows of maybe 70. So it's not the most pleasant hunting experience, but it's what we got to do. All right, now we're gonna haul the wagon on over to the creek side. I have to get a feeder going and some corn throwing and get those bucks back over here. I have had some bucks on trail cam, but they're not the big ones. Mainly the young bucks moving around together so far. Just kind of hanging out, visiting my mineral site, which is good, but I got to get those big bucks over here. All right, so I want to show y'all this creek. It is massive. Oh, we got to get rid of these. Got to get rid of these spiders on the way. This creek is massive. It's always flowing. And it has been a thorn in my side since I bought this place. It's a beautiful creek, but it just blocks my hunting area. It's basically a divider from camp and to the hunting sites, which the divider thing is cool, but not being able to cross with my equipment is horrible. Check this out. Not sure how good of a perception that gives you, but it's a big creek. And then the banks are about, like I said, they're about 15 to 18 foot high. So crossing that with any equipment is impossible unless you get them cut down. Look at this tree. Isn't that awesome? Here we got a bed of river rock, which is really cool. Need to dig for some arrowheads here one day. I bet you we'd find some in there. All right, well, step one is gonna be to get the dirt bike across. We're gonna basically just carry it over this shallow part of the creek here, and then up over there is not as steep. I can probably go up that direction with the dirt bike and just kind of walk it up. I'll have it on, give it a little throttle, but I won't be sitting on it because this stuff under this water just sinks. All right, so this thing's got a back brake, which is good. We'll just kind of squeeze that back brake a little bit on the way down. We should be good. There we go. Okay, I think I'm gonna back this thing down because if I get in front of it, I might get in trouble. Uh-oh. There we go. Yep. There we go. Okay. Turn. All right, get ready for this. Yeah, buddy. All right, there we go. The last thing I want is for the feeder to flip over. I think that the tires are tall enough. Right now we're at 16 inches of tire. Yep, perfect. All right, let's go. This is all for the love of hunting. All right, we're getting tippy here. There we go. Got the dirt bike halfway up. I've got the feeder up. The most challenging part here is that berm. We made it happen. Now we just need to do the rest, which is not as bad. I'm gonna go ahead and hook up the dirt bike to the wagon and just tow it on over to where I wanna place that feeder. Okay, over here is our hunting property. It's about 17 acres. The front side where camp is at is about 5 acres. And like I said, the creek divides the 5 and the 17. Anyways, it's all grown over. Haven't been able to do any work over here all summer long because of the creek being washed out. But we are here now. We are gonna get some work done. Bought this bike online. It's been pretty good so far. You just gotta make sure you keep the oil clean and ride the heck out of it. If it sits too long, then obviously it's going to gum up on you and not want to start. But it's only done that once to me. So far so good after that. Here we go, guys. That's how we're operating today. We are gonna take the feeder first, and then we will come back for the corn. Actually, corn, minerals, and protein. Here we go. Well, folks, I just got done talking so good about that dirt bike, and lo and behold, it quit working. I don't know if it had anything to do with me crossing the creek and water getting in somewhere. That very well could be it, so I'm not going to just bash the bike, but now we've got to manhandle this wagon another half of the way, so, which isn't too bad. I was able to get it to here, which is about 150 yards. I got another 150 yards to go. Seemed like a good idea, but that was brutal. But it's done. Unfortunately, I have to make another trip with the corn, but the hard part's done. So here we are. We're gonna set up the feeder, stake it down, and then go get some corn. thing I forgot to do was make sure that the feeder works. So let's give it a test run. Spinning good. She's back, baby. Maybe she was flooded out a little bit, who knows, but she is up and running and could not have come through in a better time. Brought the corn over here, saved me the hassle of having to pull this wagon the whole way. My goodness. All right, let's put that corn in the feeder. This is an MB Ranchking feeder, and it is my favorite. Out of all the feeders I've had so far, this is the one that tops it off. Easy stand and fill style. It's got a lid with a solar panel right on top. You can probably put about 7 sacks of 50-pound corn here and not have to worry about it for a while. It's got a great timer, solar panel, and a 12-volt battery. This feeder, other than getting a little wet during the flood, has been a great feeder nonetheless. It's going about 6 years strong now. There she is, folks, up and running. All right, man. We've done most of the work for the day. Getting a feeder up and running for the season is crucial to our hunting down here in East Texas. It's just how we do it. Unless you're hunting some public land or something, we're usually feeding corn to try to get the deer to start coming your direction. So, like it or not, that's how we do it here in East Texas and probably all of Texas. Like I said, unless you're hunting some public land. All right, so project one, the major project, is done. I'm happy that I was able to get this feeder up and going. Next, I want to show you my hunting spots out here. So over here, in between these two trees, I like this setup because both Si and I can hunt double side of that tree and hunt together, which is a huge part of what we do out here. It's all about family. A lot of guys use this for alone time, which is fine. There is nothing wrong with that, but I use it for mostly family time. Not gonna say I don't hunt on my own, but this here is what I do to show the family the ins and outs of the woods. There's one bow stand there, and I will show you on over to the other one. So the other one is across the way here, and the reason why I've got one set up on both sides of the feeder is because you never know what the wind's going to do out here. So if I've got a north wind or maybe a south wind, I'll have a setup for both. Should be right through here. Okay. Yep, there it is. Oh man, it's pretty nasty over here. I'm gonna have to clean this up. But here's the other stand, right up this tree here. And I've only got one lock on here, but in the past what I've done is I've kind of climbed here with my tethered setup and sat with Si on this side as well, which is pretty cool because this particular setup isn't going to be key for the feeder, but it's going to be key for what's on the way to the feeder. Over here in the thick, this is a nice little bowl area that has a ton of deer traffic. The feeder's out in the open, hoping I can get lucky there, but in here's where it's at, obviously. Plus you can blend in a lot better in this tree than you can on the other one. It's pretty thick, so I'll get up there later on and see if I need to do any trimming. All right, now it's time to test this camera to see if it actually works where there is no signal. I've sat plenty of times here and bow hunted. If I'm up in the tree, I might get a bar, but for the most part there is no signal out here. So we're going to put this Reveal Pro 3.0 to the test and see if we can get some type of signal out here to transmit photos. One of my concerns is if I get just enough signal to transmit a photo, it's probably going to eat the batteries up. So anyhow, we'll give it a shot and see what it does, and by next week we'll be able to see exactly what it does for us. So I brought a tripod. I'm going to mount the camera on the tripod and put it right there next to the feeder. So I bought this from Plot Pod a couple years back, and I love this thing, man, because you can put it anywhere. As you can see, I don't really have a good spot to hang a camera right here. It's pretty open, and I don't want to hang it on a tree that's 40 yards away. So you can put this thing anywhere, and it acts as a tripod. You mount the camera to it and it works perfect. So we're going to put it right over here and see how it does for the next week. The beauty about this tripod is it's got a lot of different micro adjustments. The guys over at Plot Pod really thought this one out. You can put it anywhere and adjust it to the height and angle that you need it to, which is pretty cool. All right, so there it is. We've got the camera right next to the feeder. Feeder's gonna throw in this direction. Camera will snap anything that comes over here and eats this corn up. So everything's really grown up over here since I haven't been able to bring the tractor over here, but hopefully soon we'll have a remedy for that. But for right now, we gotta do whatever we can just to set this place up to hunt. So thanks for watching. That pretty much concludes this video. We got a feeder set up, we put corn in it, and now we're gonna set this camera up to hope that we can get some on-demand pictures. So that's about it. I appreciate you watching. We'll see you next time.